But the thing we worry, and I say, where that fire happened, it never yet go nowhere. That it is still the poor people that is still crack hitting, but now how we go do for fit survive with property inside here? La République du Cameroon don't already go on the offensive. Listen, no ever forget. Say person where he kill a neighbor. Now he never be the first person for that place. And he go cry so they pass all man. And now he go start point accusing fingers, go start name some kind of people that like say he believes say sometimes that this or not that person will be the cause of this death. Why? Because he want distance or suspicions from himself. So when you start get those kind of talks them, you know exactly what don't happen. Although I never need this one, because I don't talk this thing over and over, I always know how these things they go happen. So claim reporters, when a person wey I know say the claim reporters say na B, because na he dey ever send out all the report for B, they say, oh, we don't kill this number of amber for this side, oh, we don't attack this one for this side, oh, we don't locate them for this side, oh, they don't cause this. So claim reporter come out, and this claim reporter, this thing come out, I mean, sharp, sharp, with they still dey for market people, they still dey struggle for see if they fit move anything. Claim reporter come out talk say fire dey happen for Bamenda main market. For now, they don't know whose side with the fire it come on, and they don't know who be responsible. But they don't end for them. He go ahead and talk say, according to some reports wey dey still be unofficial, we never confirm am, the ADF terrorist group they dey claim responsibility say na they set that fire. And say they set that fire, and they talk say the reason. So if it just here, it never be confirmed. If it just here na rumor, say ADF the claim say that them burn the fire, but you don't already know the reason. He say the reason na because they want push all our public citizens when na Bamilikes people them say make they come up from that market because na them be at the origin of the smooth running of commercial activities them for Bamenda. Why I take time for explain this one? So that make we begin get an idea exactly wetin dey happen. Because the real news is there ahead. Folks, I'll have to do this back and forth because I really want that at the same time that members of the international community that are watching this platform understand what I'm saying clearly. At the same time, some of the people really concerned, directly concerned, who may not understand what I'm saying, should be getting this information firsthand. So claim reporters says that according to themselves, claim reporters, there's an unofficial source has told them that the ADF has claimed responsibility. I'm yet to see anything from anywhere, from any ADF detachment anywhere, claiming responsibility for such an heinous act. And then that's not all. They say that while they say that the reports are unconfirmed and they are unverified, but they have a reason why it happened. That they fight that the reason to push Cameroonians from the west, that's the Bamilikes people from the west region, to leave the area, as they are the main reason for the smooth running of commercial activities. Now, let me stop here. You see what happened at that main market? Over 300 shirts were raised to ashes, as you'll be seeing right ahead. I'm going to tell you on this platform, within the framework of this broadcast, exactly why this fire at this point in time. And you see, why I talked to my informants who were talking to me about the origin and the purpose of this fire. They told me next step will be what you hear come out of the lips of the colonial governor, Lele Lafrique de Benchofo. And it did not miss. Let's try to get into this program. If you're just joining, please share the link. Share as much as you can. Let's get as many people as possible to be on this platform. We need to know these things, and we need to be able to plan accordingly. I'm telling you all, folks, we are in for so much trouble. I've said this over and over, that we are locked in a fight or our own very existence. This is an existential fight. Recall I was here yesterday talking about collective punishment. Yes, I was here yesterday talking about collective punishment in Guzan. And I said The moment we accept collective punishment in one place, what's going to happen? We are going to accept collective punishment everywhere. We are going to face collective punishment everywhere. And when they come for this collective punishment, they don't care to discriminate. Whether you are a black leg, whether you are a member of the families of some of the sold out so-called Ambazonian elites or Southern Cameroon's elites who are in the government of La République du Cameroon, in their Senate, in their parliament, and who are occupying councils in their names, who are directors and all of those things, and who claim that they are so-called CPDM elite. They don't care whether you belong to their families or not. I take you back to the document I read here, Stratégie de conservation du pouvoir. They make clear that when it comes to the war, to the genocidal war, to the genocidal campaign in the southern Cameroons, they don't care the number of people who will die. All what matters to them is the few that will survive to remain under slavery, servitude, and total subjugation. Look at this. This is an overview of the Bamilikes main market this morning of Friday, February 23, 2024. When you look at it, you can see just from this overview the extent of the damage. You can see the number of sheds that are without roofs. Because I saw in some social media fora, some people wondering, they said 300 sheds. How many sheds are in that market? There are far too many sheds in that market. There are over 500 sheds in that market. But when I are telling you that at least 300 of them were raised to ashes, this should inform you that over half of the market has been reduced to ashes. And what this tells you is that the losses that we're talking about here would be in billions of CFA francs. There are a lot of people here who have lost their entire livelihoods. I mean, everything that they ever worked for in their shops, gone. And what you may want to know why there's so much tears, watch this short video. Now you see the anger in the flames. Again, I said earlier that this fire started a little after 5:30 p.m. You know, because of the security situation and the ongoing genocidal campaign by La République du Cameroon in our land, people actually close somewhat earlier. The benchmark time normally is 5 p.m. when people should have shut down their shops and left. But because of the level of insecurity, some people start leaving from 4 p.m. They start closing their shops and going away. And that's why a good lot of those who were concerned heard about this fire incident when they were already on the way to their homes and had to start hurrying back to the market to see if they could rescue anything. And again, just so you know, because of the multifarious attacks that the people have been having and money carted away from them, even taken away from them at home, a lot of these people started feeling secure to sell and keep their money in their shops. Because when they close after 5 p.m., no time to go to the banks or to the credit unions. Those that are smart enough, maybe so around 3:30, they already rush to the credit unions to keep their money, or around 2 before coming to close their shops. But a good lot of others keep their money in the market, and this money has been reduced to ashes. That's why you see the pain. Just take a look again.
Not really what it is. This year now only fire outside. I just gotta see this master. I men market this show. I men market this. The fire still continues. Go even look at fire. What is what that story be? But I don't market that show. I don't market that. You look at your share. Fire is still continues. Go that side. Fire don't catch electricity pole. You don't see no. I fire that. And you don't catch it. I know so. You don't know if it's going to fire. Remember, look at don't see how God is back. The thing is back. It is back. It's back. Amen.
You see the pain. The people running helter skelter. I've shown you two serious videos here of Inferno, but one thing that is common in these two videos, you have not seen the firefighting brigade anywhere in any of these videos. I have too many of the lines. If I show you, I can continue to broadcast them. You will not see them in any of the videos. Why? They arrived at the scene late. Because of course it was meant. They arrived at the scene late and they arrived with just some little water within 5-10 minutes. I'm not sure it went beyond 20 minutes. They were exhausted and they said they could not continue because they had run out of water. Did you hear that? They had run out of water. And that's why the fires continue to consume until even late in the night and early this morning, there was still fire at the Bamenda main market. You'll be wondering what. Just take a look at this.
Our neighbor he shop this, so our neighbor shop this, so our neighbor corner house that he shop this. See machine house, all thing down, all machines, nothing remain again. Our neighbor he shop this, so our neighbor shop this.
So you see, ruins, nothing. A good lot of the shops got burnt until nothing came out of any of those shops. But there's a fire brigade in Bamenda. And that fire brigade got to the spot very belatedly and they weren't there for long. Conclusion, the fire was so strong and they had run out of water. And of course, they could go them back and sleep in their houses. Why? Mission was being accomplished. Like I said, even right up to the morning of February 23, there was still fire. Watch.
Today you get all things.
So I shut them bond. So they extend right inside the other side, then bond the other one. That line for that side bond, the line bond, the one bond, the other line bond, the other one inside when I say again, so it bond.
So you can see the flames. You see the desolation. The desolation is total. As I'm going from one video to the other, I want you to be listening to the language being spoken by the people concerned, by the people who are in pains, by the people who are crying. Listen to their tongue. Because when you listen to our people talk, you know these are our people. When you listen to other people talk, you will hear their tongue. Because I want to take you back to Ken so that you should understand exactly what I'm talking about here. Watch again. See, that's the fire. You ready? This 23rd. So my people, like I said, before this thing happened, we had another incident at the food market. The food market, where several shops too were burnt, reduced to ashes. They also said, this fire was a spark from somebody's store. It was something for wiring and all that happened from somebody's store. Take note, it's not like it also happened in Kumba. In Kumba too, the markets burnt. Still in Bamenda, in Kwen, markets burnt. My people of Ambazonia, don't forget, I had said before on this platform that for Mr. Paul Biya and his regime, poverty is a public policy. It is designed. It is enforced. It is implemented. And when I brought here the secret leaked documents crafted by the Betty Bulu Ekam, our people, you could see there very well. They said everything has got to be done to render all the other peoples destitute. Because when they are completely destitute, that is when you will be very dependent on them. That is when they can control you, because they alone have control to financial resources, even from the resources that they tap from our land. It is in line with that. They have tried to break the morale of our people for 7 years and counting. It has not worked. They have forced shops to shut down for days, impose their own ghost towns to break the morale of the people. It has not worked. They have intimidated people, collected huge sums of money from people in bribery. Otherwise, they will seal their shirts using some of ours, like Achoban Paul in Bamenda, as all the so-called mayors appointed by Yaoundé. Carted money from people, extorted money from people, hoping to break their morale, to cause them to turn against this liberation movement. It has not worked. They have gone outright, shot people indiscriminately in places. It has not worked. They have burned down officially 400 village settlements in the southern Cameroons, in Ambazonia. Burnt 400 village settlements. Burnt even humans alive, vulnerable people alive in their homes. It has not broken the morale of the people. And now they told themselves, the next thing we need to do is take it to another level. That other level was what? Attack the young, vibrant population, the youths, and see if they could use them and turn them against the movement. Because there are no jobs, a lot of the young men commercial motorbike riding to earn a living from there, to feed themselves, their families, and the many internally displaced people who have taken refuge with them. They went on the rampage, seized hundreds of bikes, hundreds, went and kept them, and would only give them back after collecting 50,000 from each person. With some, they already disappeared them and went and sold them to citizens of the Republic of Cameroon in Bafoussam on auction sales to dispossess our people in order to break their morale. It did not work. They went to Egbeko in Manu, went into a community, brutally murdered almost 50 people. Same intention. Create serious fear, so panic, so trembling, to force the people to cooperate with them against their own very aspirations for freedom. It did not work. Now they told themselves the only way to proceed is to do what they have done. And I will tell you, prior to this fire, there is something they were already doing. Watch this other video. When they see this pain and desolation, they sit back. They pop champagne. They drink Roi Petraeus. They drink Dom Perignon. They drink Veuve Clignotte. And they say we are dealing with them. They are not drinking this alone. They are drinking with their tongue apologies. They are drinking with Achoban Paul, who is moving around with the Bible and saying he's a preacher, yet participating in this evil against his own people. They are drinking with all of them. Drinking with the Belamoki Charles. They are drinking with all of those people. Ungaringa. Why our people are in pain? Just take a look again.
Now the main gate is on market, main gate. Entrance on market. Now the main gate is on market, main gate. entrance of market. Then the main gate is of market, main gate. Entrance of market.
So when you see this teeming population here, they are not coming to buy and sell. They are in pains, they are in tears, they are in mourning. They are almost like wearing sackcloth. My people of Ambazonia, this level of wickedness, this level of evil, you only get it when you are facing an enemy that is backed by France. If you doubt what I'm saying, go and read the story of Guinea Conakry. Go and read the story of Guinea Conakry. When President Sékou Touré refused to sign the wicked agreements that the French through de Gaulle were proposing to make sure they will hold their African colonies in total bondage forever, because that's what is still going on. That they will give them independence with one hand and take it back with the other. When Sékou Touré refused to sign those agreements and decided that wanted total, absolute independence, as our people continue to ask in the very vast majority, the French descended on Guinea. They shattered every single thing they've ever done in Guinea. They burnt, they broke, they destroyed, they razed down villages. I mean, they scattered everything. They carried even right down to wooden chairs that they had and scattered them to punish the Guineans for refusing to subject themselves to the French. This is the same thing La République du Cameroon is doing on our land. They turn around and come and tell you and I that they are constructing our roads. They want to construct the ring road now. That means Apobia promised to construct since 1990. We are today in 2024. Listen, folks. The only reason that you have La République du Cameroon campaign and saying they want to do the roads, now they are doing roads leading to Cambe, they want to do roads passing through Menchum, they want to do... No, those roads are not for us. I can't pretend to hide it. I can't be saying in silence what we know. I need to say it here so you know. Those roads that they are constructing, they are not for us. They need access into our hinterlands to fight our self-defense volunteers and to try their last-ditch efforts to keep us under slavery and servitude. They are doing those roads now because they need them to circulate, number one. Number two, they are doing those roads now because a lot of the broken roads are earth roads and all whatnot, and so they easily fall on hidden IED devices which shatter them, like one just shattered them, as I understand, in Mezam this morning, destroying an entire armored car, perhaps with all its occupants. It is because of that they are doing those roads. Because they tell themselves, when the road is start, if you have to plant a device on that road, you need to dig it, and when they are coming from afar, it's fresh, they will see that this place has been tampered with, they will become careful. That's the only reason they are doing those roads. It's not in our interest. I want us to know this very well. Because some people say, oh, maybe let's just leave it and let them bring us roads for development. No. Ngala, Gerard, and the others, they know why they are doing those roads. Mr. John of Burns, he knows why they are doing those roads. Shea Jones Yembe, they know. Even my friend, the CEO of Bofas, they know why they are doing these roads. They know why La République du Cameroon needs these roads now. Those roads are not in our interest. They are not for us. And mind you, we're in the third millennium. This is not the era where they construct footpaths in the name of roads. Citizens of La République du Cameroon went to Côte d'Ivoire. They went to Côte d'Ivoire for the Nations Cup. They could see what they call roads, not those footpaths. This criminal fire, this heinous fire at the Bamenda main market. Let's watch this again. I'll be telling you things. So you can see for yourself, the entire market is rubble. The whole market na rubble, my people. I did talk this, I did repeat that. Because I first talked down for baby grandma, I broke out for this country talk. We see, where you see like people they come now, we speak to say the one can fix road. They don't decide say they go build that ring road. Remember, right for the days of Pajomia Perfok, we be big government delegate for Bamenda City Council. For 1990, I don't forget that speech. That time I began at Form 4, I began at Form 4 for secondary school, Form 4. I didn't forget that. At least I be done the hope, the prepare the plan, say, I want to become a journalist. I'll be the following news very well. There were Pajoma Perfect, not even mention the ring road for inside his speech. Because if he knows, say, if he mentioned a waste of time, because always they never ever do nothing for him. The speech we prepare here for Pajoma Perfect, he leave outside, do my own speech, we call for dialogue. We talk say when two elephants they fight, now grass it is suffer. But Paul Biaka for his speech talk say the Bamenda Ring Road will be mentioned I go personally supervise them. 1990 to do then at 2024. Now how many years that today? Huh? Now how many years that today? 34 years. 34 years. I mean 34 good years down the line. Now you want to hear now they just say no, they don't hire Burns, may they go do the patch for Ring Road for between Kumbo, or between Do or wherever, and then Campbell. They don't hire Bofas, may go do this one for this side. They don't hire one a Mark for Shea John Yembe, may they do the other one for that side. Like the Cameroon need to do those roads today now because of we. They need do those roads then because they need roads then for worker for on top and can come for inside with villages and towns them for can see how they go fight with self-defense volunteers. For can see how they go struggle for make sure say they keep we as their slaves for life. That the only reason that they build those roads them. And see the kind of roads them. That tiny footpath then so with two big motors they say nothing even bypass for on top. Now when they work at talk say they can't construct roads. My country people, make no man no difficult make them fuller. Maybe our this for we for the live and make any person fool we anyhow. Those roads where they do them, we don't need those roads. And I be clear. Some of the people they don't come and go for Ivory Coast. When they go for that football where we take place today, that Nations Cup. You see that like people you can picking that they go so when they no one come back, they see roads, which they call our roads. They see development. No be that footpath the way they can't do it for we know. Look, they do that road in Nana because say they are took them. That they talks them. Inside that the armored cars they don't work hard, the chicks say they be so protected because the self-defense volunteers then they plant them things for the road the way they chaka when the one can they don't know whether they don't plant or they don't plant that because the road first na jaka road they all no nothing no they didn't like footpath. So now the one made they construct the road them so that it go be in a tie, it go be clean. If they don't come from afar, if someone don't do something for them, they go see them. Say no, something that happen for this place, they go dodge them. Now why that they don't get the interest at heart? No, because of who they build those roads. Because yes, so but say, oh, why they not even made a bit? Me, I not go send no person say me they go attack some person with the build roads, but I talk my own clear. Me we know. Say those roads, that thing they definitely say they do roads, not before we interest. They need to do it for we. They don't like we. They don't like being like and for one do we roads. They do nothing we go help them. Do what they do now an instrument for war. Now continuation of the war that when they tell you say that they build we roads. Because they will be interested for do something seriously for people, they will do something more than those. They will not build those roads long time. But now they will do something more than those roads. You see people they no fear, they no shame for go attack hospital like the one for Manfield, burn them down. They tell and say they build roads because they like we. If they go burn down hospital, will be protected by international law. Wait till they no go do it. Someone make this one clear. You see this fire for this market. Might go back for big grandma or come back for this country talk. So you see that fire at the Bamenda main market. That fire is preceding something. Prior to this fire, I was completing the facts to come to this platform to sensitize the people of Ambazonia of some evil practice that was already ongoing in Bamenda, at the various markets in Bamenda, the food market, the main market, and the market in Kwen, but especially the food market and the main market. What was going on? With the complicity of Mr. Achobang Paul, who says he is the Bamenda city mayor. I don't even know who elected him. With his complicity, what were they doing? And they were using the police force to intimidate people. They were already dispossessing the local population of their sheds and reassigning the market sheds to Bamileke people specifically. I have nothing against Bamileke people, but I've always taken any opportunity I have to sensitize the Bamileke people to know you are our closest neighbors from La République du Cameroon. Put it behind your minds. Ambazonia will be free. Ask yourself, with all what we are doing to a people who stood up, opened their borders to us, received us, gave us land, even gave us their daughters as wives, at the time La République and France were chasing and killing you in the 1958 through the UPC, that today we are locked in the same situation, in a proxy war being sponsored by the same France. Today, what are the Bamileke people showing us? They are cooperating with the enemy against us. The Bamileke people are ready to walk on the blood of our people in order to help La République du Cameroon to subjugate us, in order to make financial gains. Money at all costs. Because this is the practice that was going on. A lot of people who have shirts, who happen to, for one reason or the other, fall behind with their rents, especially the food market and the Bamenda main market. When the manager went to pay these rents, they will no longer collect it, because they will give them, oh, if you're not paying, you have 1 month to leave. You're not paying, you have 2 months. When the manager come, knowing the hard times in which we are, in which we find ourselves, knowing the hardship being imposed on our people by Yaoundé, when they go now to pay this money, they tell them, no, we're no longer interested in collecting this money. Just tell us when you are vacating the shop. For those who end up being chicken-hearted and vacate their shop, the moment you are packing out of that shop, the next day, the shirt is assigned to a Bamileke person. And they have been doing this. It has been going on for a while now. Reason? Mr. Lele Lafrit de Ben Chofo, along with Achobang Paul Atanga Ponji, and the other CBD apparatchiks sat together and determined that because they have fought the ghost towns for 8 years without success and have not succeeded in breaking the resolve of the people, the next thing to do was to make sure the Bamileke people own at least 80% of the shirts, and they will be willing to open their shops every Monday, with the bee sitting there with them to sell. This is exactly what has been going on. You are listening to me, but better you understand what I'm talking about. I have succinct reports. I even have names of people who have already lost their shops to the Bamilekes in this scheme. I'm using this platform to draw the attention of these Bamileke people to the effect that you are playing with the future. Because when we become independent, because we will be, we're your closest neighbor. These Bamileke people face all kinds of tortures and vicissitudes from La République du Cameroon. Oh yes, this is the plain truth. They are facing all kinds of challenges from La République du Cameroon. I have a video here that I will play at my next session, where you will hear a Bulu Betty Ekan lady telling the Bamileke people that they are their slaves and they will remain their slaves. Where will you run to for respite? Already in the late 50s and early 60s, we opened our borders, accommodated you. Today, you are showing us just how horrible you are as a neighbor. When that time comes, where will you run to? My country people there, I want to talk this thing here, some little history there. When this will Bamileke people, they need for Noah. Because when they know him, it will help them. Because as I talk so, the thing we don't go on for Bamenda, for main market, for food market, and for Gwen Market. Which other way we don't happen and say at Choban Paul would that governor call and Lele Lafrique. With the SDO Emil Moore, they don't come up with a plan with a tanga ponji. See the thing they go do for break ghost town, now for take plenty of the shops from we own people them, hand them for Bamileke people. So that if Bamileke people they end up own 80% of the sheds them, they go make sure say for ghost town they go work, they go open their businesses. B they go shoot off for their stores and for accompany them, make them sell. And so that way they will succeed for challenge will resolve. For talk say Monday in our country Sunday. So for that reason, what they don't do before this day where they now move to this next level with this fire, for now take them to a larger and faster scale. Now say people they be the owe money for their shirts because time they had. They don't make until they transfer to people that need to get me say for buy. Business in the worker. Money need to circulate nowhere. People they distress. People they owe for their shares 3 months, 4 months. By the time they can't give ultimatum, say if you don't pay, you go come out. You struggle so you can't pay half. You say at the beginning the next half they say no, they don't collect this half again. They don't collect money again for you. Now which day you come out for that shed? Or which is the one that say me you come out from the shed. And when they successfully move it the next day, they assign that shed now for Bamileke person. Now today don't happen for Bamenda. And no say the traders they don't really suffer them. I get some of them their names them for here. But they be beg to make and no call these names them because of which it will happen for them. But now the thing that we go and probably plan for can't fail, we can't talk about this just before this fire happened, and that we don't know. So we will reach for this level for this fire. And so this fire, the intention for this fire, now say as they don't burn and so burn people their capital all. They know say when they go repeat this shit here very fast. No one don't hear what you Lele Lafrique talk. Now the Lele Lafrique is now today, this 23rd so now in that way we do for market, they talk say government for La République of Cameroon, it go give compensation. Now since when we government for La République du Cameroon don't give compensation for this fire, they don't burn with over 400 villages them. Burn Mami Api, burn people that inside their houses for Babanki, burn people that they inside their houses for Bayi Panya, burn people that for inside their houses for Ikiliwindi, for Bayi Grass, burn people that burn villages, over 400 villages. They never give compensation for which one. Now, Lele Lafrique, the bench for I talk say today, he go say, he don't go for go keep committee, may they evaluate the damages and the losses, and then government go see how they will provide some compensation. Make a tell country people them. Make them know the kind of compensation we go expect them. Listen, we don't see the kind of compensation they were telling they used to go outside goat and all. They will bring buckets, they will bring back rice, they will bring mattress, they will bring some weighty for country saying that compensation. There no check say they compensate, they can't give now some money say now money is taken against that capital. La République du Cameroon, their intention now for make sure say make all my poor so to be like church rat. So that they go fit be able for control we, for press we down, and for take over we land once and for all. Now the only thing that way, like people in Cameroon, set this fire for this market. Any other reason they give you say, oh, Natina make a burn and a lie. Let me hear. Because clear reporters know which way they go on. Now when they hurriedly talk say, that ADF don't take responsibility, say that they burn the market because they want burn a Bamilikes people that their sheds and make them go. You don't listen to other people that don't play these videos. You take care of they talk so. How many Bamilikes people they don't hear for they say na the way they burn their sheds them? Plenty Ambazonian family people they don't call me the cry. See all their capital they don't finish. They don't burn all their sheds they finish them. So if clear reporters we talk say na ADF because they be the calculator for burn Bamilikes people that their sheds them, it means the people they go put the fire be very stratified. The only reason why clear reporters give for talk so now because they know say that the plan that they get for down and thing that they don't do them and they want to for stem the suspicion. That is why you find Lele Lafrique the bench for coming here to say that oh they will give the people compensation, they will get up, they will get that left and right. No, clear reporters mentioned that this is what they said that the reason. They allege that the ADF conducted this action was to push Cameroonians from the west to leave the area as they are the main reason for the smooth running of commercial activities. Is there a smooth running of commercial activities in Bamenda on Mondays? It doesn't happen. When you read this, you get the full incongruity, and it should inform you exactly of what we are talking about here. The reason they went as far as to mention the Bamilikes people in this clearing report was to prepare the minds of the people, because they know what they have been doing, because they knew the intention is to dispossess the people of Bamenda of their shirts and to reassign these shirts to Bamileke people. That's the only reason. When Lady Lafik the bench for talks of compensation, the compensation that you are going to get, they will come sit down, they will share bags of rice, they will share buckets, they will share some mattresses. They may give envelopes of 50,000 to people who have lost hundreds of millions, to people who have lost tens of millions, to people who have lost their entire existence. Everything that have been traders for several years. There are people who have lost 2 shirts, 3 shirts, everything. There are people who have lost even their warehouses inside that market. Lady Lafik says they will give you compensation. The only thing they're going to bring to you is mattresses, bags of rice, buckets, bread, sardine, maybe beer, and some envelope of 50,000 or even 20,000 or even maybe 100,000, and then give you telephone numbers of the D to say, if you happen to see those self-defense volunteers passing in your area, the Ambazonian army, call us, because they are the ones. Because they believe that when they push you down to this level, subject you to nothing, you have nothing completely to rely on, it becomes easier for them to control you. That is why they are doing this. There's the only reason. My people of Ambazonia, I've said here 1,001 times that for La République du Cameroon, we are pawns. That for France, we are not human beings. They will kill us for their sport. La République du Cameroon is determined to erase us completely from existence. I've said this fight is the fight for our own very, very, very existence. When they're coming to burn like this, they don't discriminate. They don't care to know whether you are preaching federalism. They don't care to know whether you, the owner of that shop in southern Cameroon, whether you are standing on rooftops and shouting one and indivisible. They don't care whether you are a family member of some of the southern Camerooners who allow themselves to be fighting on behalf of La République du Cameroon in their bees. They don't care. It's collective punishment. They give it to everybody. And like Lenin, who carried a cock, tortured it, pulled out feathers roughly, the cock was in pains. And at the end of the way, dumped the cock to the ground, carried grains of maize, and started throwing. And the cock came back. And the cock started falling back on him. That's exactly how La République du Cameroon intends to toy with us, with all these things. They will burn down our entire community and expect that when they come and throw a few grains of rice, give a few francs, share some buckets and blankets, we will in turn begin loving and cooperating with them. That's why yesterday on this platform, I talked about some important thing called mental slavery. That's why I talked yesterday about mental slavery. That gives you the illusion of freedom. It makes you trust, love, and defend your oppressor while making enemy of those who are trying to free you or open your eyes. They're in all the forums. They're in all the social media forums. I was grappling this morning with one senator, says that he's Enwe Francis. Grappling this morning, he was, oh, these fool lies. You see, how are you writing this kind of thing? Why are you saying this kind of thing which is not justified? Of course, they are there to oil the evil machinery against their own people just so that in return, they will call him senator. He's not alone. There are many of them. He's not alone. It's such a bane. This delusion. My people of Amazonia, we have to continue to be strong If you backslided in this struggle because you were blaming, the self-defense volunteers have gone and captured my father, captured my mother, captured my family member, and collected ransom. For that reason, I've turned my back against this struggle. When they were burning the Bamilikes main market, they did not spare your family member. They did not. A lot of us here in the United States only have family members that have lost 2-3 shirts, that have lost millions worth of investment inside there. When you look at these shirts like this now, everything is to be restarted from square zero. And when they restart from square zero and finish this thing, they will simply start scamming with the policy to start reassigning these shirts from square zero, and mainly to Bamilikes people. Take a look at it. That's why I started with this picture. So you see the extent of the devastation.